Just by reading from reactions and comments, from the total of 102 comments 100% replies to Post Courier's headline in the first 1 hour suggested for PMJM to step down or resign. The Prime Minister, Police Minister and Police Commissioner should humble themselves and acknowledge the fact that they are responsible for the carnage, mayhem and chaos that has gripped the country.
The Prime Minister, Mr. James Marape, should step down because he spent a lot of money traveling overseas. And he does not care for his own country. Next point. The law and order. He should look after his police minister and the commissioner and attend to the law and order problems in the country within, especially precisely in Enya and Tari. Okay, next. After his 27 billion budget, instead of doing what is required by the law, is putting his dirty hands into the public servant pocket. The last payday, a cut of 30%, and then currently 40%. That's very amazing. That's why it's a first of its kind in this country. The two security forces, the police force and the defense force, they came to stand still. And then we can feel the effect of that. Mr. Prime Minister, you should step down immediately because it's a first of its kind. You have not done what you are supposed to be doing. That's my peace of mind for the 8 million people in this country. Thank you very much.
Our citizens are not safe. The kakistocracy promoted by James Marape has made Papua New Guinea fragile and susceptible to attack. The collapse in law and order in the Highlands region is an undeniable indictment on the failed policies of the Marape government. Yet again we are seeing gun-toting criminals and machete-wielding murderers reign with impunity. This spate of violent crimes, death and destruction, confirms that the Marape government has lost its legitimacy and moral authority to govern. The buck stops with the Prime Minister James Marape, who has led a kakistocracy since 2019 where the least qualified MPs lacking the skills, education, experience, and moral proclivity have been running riot with the national coffers and sinking the country. With impunity, they have pushed get-rich-quick schemes like Connacht PNG, the gold bullion, and the insurance scam for public servants. With no empathy for the citizens, Marape has led miserably and taken the country on the freeway to becoming a banana republic. The role of a legitimate government is to guarantee the safety of its citizens. This underpins the social contract between the citizens and the state. Marape has continued to fail this mandate, lacking the leadership acumen to get things done in the best interests of the people of Papua New Guinea. We only need to look at the litany of crises since 2019. The member for Tari-Pori simply does not have what it takes to be Prime Minister of Papua New Guinea. Nationwide, the people are victims of a dangerous rise in violent crimes with offensive and illegal weapons. The brutal murders that have occurred in the start of 2025 are symptomatic of a deeper problem: failed political leadership. These violent crimes have put our people in a state of panic, eroding the social contract and the government's legitimacy. This must compel all members of parliament to oust this Prime Minister for being unable to guarantee the safety of our citizens. The Prime Minister, Police Minister and Commissioner of Police did not have the moral authority to go to Goroka and address the families of slain policemen, nor could they go to Tari or Porgera. Do they expect to continue this madness in their ivory towers in Port Moresby whilst other policemen and women risk their lives on the front line to defend life and property without adequate resource, defending failed policies, and fighting a losing battle? All MPs must take a cold shower and stop this absolute madness from continuing another day. Prime Minister Han James Marape should concede that he has no idea how to fix the chronic law and order problems in the country. He simply does not know what to do because he is more interested in remaining in power and promoting his kakistocracy government than making the tough decisions for national interest. Marape does not have what it takes to be Papua New Guinea's Prime Minister. The writing is on the wall. The country does not need lip service, NRL, or lame excuses. The inveterate mediocrity of the Prime Minister since 2019 is unacceptable and indicates that he has no idea what is important to the people of PNG or how to get things done. The law and order situation will only get worse if we do not change this incompetent government. I once again make the call for this Prime Minister, Hon James Marape, and his sycophant Police Minister, Hon Peter Tsaiamalili, to resign immediately. Members of Parliament, as mandated national leaders, must demand this resignation and not condone this protracted law and order crisis that compromises our national security, welfare, and future.